Hello, I haven't done a vlog for a long time. It's been a long time, maybe a month or so, I don't know. I've been here for 7 months now, and I was going to do a vlog about what is it like to live in a very remote place. So I live on a mountain pass. Trying to think where it is. It's about an hour from Dunoon and an hour from Ellensburgh and 45 minutes to Inverary, so it's somewhere in the middle of there. The last few miles of the road here is single track, and you've got to go up the mountain pass, which a lot of people don't like doing because it's single track and you have passing places but not many, and you've got to get good at reversing when you do this. So I thought I ain't doing vlogs because I think, what can I talk about, even though my life is really cool at the moment and I've got loads going on. And then I thought, not many people live in very remote places, especially in Scotland, because those populations are really small. So I thought, talk about that then. So I was going to talk about what it's like to live away from the rat race, basically. When you get into the Scottish Highlands, you come into these little communities which are really close knit, so you make really good friends here, and if you make enemies, they're really bad ones. So there's no like in betweens. It's a funny thing, you either know everybody's business and they know everything about you, or you just stay away from everyone and keep yourself to yourself. So I have become a lot more sociable since I came here because of my job, because I'm literally working with people all day. So I've just talked to everybody, no matter who they are. And I was thinking just recently how hard it can be living somewhere like this, because you really are out in the sticks, and the property that I live in is not mine, and it's temporary. We keep just finding temporary places all the time, but because it's temporary, I don't buy things anymore, so I'm not self-sufficient as I would be normally. And I was thinking about it, and I thought, if anything kicks off, which it has, we've had one where there was a landslide on one of the mountains, and as a result of that, the road got closed, and it made it really difficult to get out and about. And it also was difficult to get shopping delivered, which we can get through Asda. And I thought, this is making life really hard, because we can't just go and get a big massive shop now. So what do you do in times like that? You need to have a stockpile of food. You need to have lots of dried food and tins, just in case of an emergency. Then I'm thinking, the other night, outside this window, we got an helicopter come at midnight. It was obviously an air ambulance, and I thought, that's another scary thing. You live in that remotely that if you have an emergency, then they have to send an helicopter, and what if they don't get there in time? You take it for granted when you live in a city, because you're not normally far from an hospital or a doctor or anything like that. Here, if anything happens to you, you could be dead by the time they get here. So that's one thing that I worry about a little bit. Another thing is, if you don't have your own transport, if you don't have a car, you've only got 2 buses a day, which means that can be really annoying. If you're going shopping and you get there, you've got to wait 3-4 hours for the next bus home, because there's only a couple of buses a day. So that can drive people mad, waiting around with the shopping. Plus you can only get what you can carry because you're on a bus, so you do need a car. You need a car. You can get deliveries from Asda here, and they charge anywhere between £2 and £5, which is good. So that's worth doing, but can't always rely on them, because come winter, we had a lot of snow up on the mountain pass, and quite often the road would get shut and transport couldn't get here, so you've easily cut off in an emergency. So extreme weather conditions, you've had it. I live up the road from a loch, and twice while I've been here that water has come right up to the main road that goes around the loch, because there's only like one road that goes all the way around it, and it's flooded the road and you cannot see where the sea is. So if you go into the sea by accident, you drop your car into the sea, so that's dangerous as well. It's only happened twice, but I've been here for 7 months, so that happens, and so there's also a risk that it could be flooded. So you've got flooding, you've got the part where you can get cut off from anywhere. We've had the internet go down a few times. When the internet goes and your phone line goes and you're in a remote place, then you could really are cut off. So you can't afford to fall out with people, really. My job is literally about 7-8 minutes in the car drive from where I'm living now, which is in the same village, which is great. And I love my job. If it wasn't for the holiday park that I work on, I don't think they'd get visitors at all here. I think it'd be very, very unlikely that anybody would come here at all, because it's literally at the end of a road. So when you get here, it doesn't lead to anywhere else. You literally have got to turn back again. So you're only going to come here for a purpose, either because you're coming for your holiday or because you live here. So it's like living on an island, actually. In winter, when there's not many holiday makers about, you do feel like you're living on an island, because you've only got your locals and the odd visitor. So what I love about living here is the fact that it is remote, and I love that, and I love the fact that you don't feel like you're just going to get like visited every 2 minutes by undesirables. You know, people have got to make the effort to come here, so they're only going to come here again for a purpose. They're not just going to turn up on the off chance and try something. So I think the crime for that reason is very low. If anybody in the village committed a crime, they'd get known about and they'd probably get lynched, so you wouldn't get away with that. There's a lot to do. You've got a bowling club, you've got knitting classes, you've got Keep Fit, they do rowing classes, you can do boat hire. There's what's I thinking now? There's a few things goes on. You've got lots of tradesmen live here, so you've always got a plumber, electrician, joiner, mechanic, all that kind of thing. There's a little school behind me near my house for juniors and infants. They've got the fire station next to that, so if this house went up in smoke, we're literally seconds away from the fire station. You've got the doctor's surgery, and you've got a travelling dentist who comes once a Wednesday. So you've got what you need, and there's a little shop in the holiday complex which sells all your basics, all the things that you need, plus some extras. They sell booze and fags and all that stuff, and veg, bread, milk, and it's reasonable price. And then you've got your little post office for sending parcels and things, so you've got what you need, but you've got to want to have a quiet life. You've got to like your own company, or you're going to be pestering your neighbours, because it's not a very sociable place outside of it. So the pub here is like the local hub. Like, it's like the 1980s when people were more sociable. This is the kind of community that still is around. When you live on islands and rural villages, you've still got that 1980s feel when people still looked after each other, and there's still that sense of community. So we've still got that now, so I like it. My job's fantastic. I love my job. The pay's rubbish, but I love my job. And you've got to say what's more important: a good paying job that you don't enjoy, or a job that's minimum wage, but you just love doing it. So swings and roundabouts. But anyway, I love living here. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, because that's another vlog for another time. I haven't been doing them because I always think I'm boring, but I've got to keep remembering that these are personal vlogs for me, and if you just want to watch them, that's fine, but it's a record of my journey, because I've been travelling for nearly 5 years now in Scotland, and apart from the 1 year I did last year back in England, which I hated with a passion and went really downhill, since I've come back up here I've never felt so happy. I'm going to do another vlog about my health, because that's been crap, and we're getting to the bottom of this soon as well, but just for now I thought I'll talk about what it's like to live in a rural place, and I think it's great. So anyway, thanks for watching if you did.